Alright, let's talk about something that adds a real kick to your meal. I'm talking about chili peppers. Those fiery little things that can make you sweat, make your eyes water, and make your food taste a whole lot better. Or, for some folks, a whole lot hotter. They're not just a garnish, folks. They're a powerhouse of flavor. They're a staple in kitchens all over the world. From a mild warmth to a full-blown inferno, chili peppers bring the heat. And someone, somewhere, is working hard to get them from the field to your fork. It's a job, a real job, and it's more complex than you might think. You see these peppers in salsas, hot sauces, and sprinkled on your favorite dishes. But have you ever stopped to think about the journey they take? It's a long road, full of dirt, sweat, and a whole lot of know-how. The chili pepper isn't just some random plant, it's a carefully cultivated crop. It's a big deal in American agriculture. We're talking about a serious amount of peppers. In fact, the US churns out a mountain of these spicy gems every single year. We're talking hundreds of millions of pounds. That's a lot of potential heartburn, and a lot of happy taste buds too. So where do these fiery little flavor bombs actually come from? Well, they don't just pop up anywhere. Chili peppers are a bit particular about their living conditions. They like it warm. They love the sun. Think about places where you'd want to go on vacation. That's often where peppers are happiest. In the United States, this means states like New Mexico, California, Arizona, and Texas are big players in the chili game. These regions offer the long, hot, sunny growing seasons that peppers absolutely crave. You can't just stick a chili plant in Alaska and expect a bumper crop. It needs that warmth. The soil is another big factor. Peppers prefer well-drained soil. They don't like their feet, or rather their roots, to be constantly wet. Soggy soil can lead to all sorts of problems, like root rot. And nobody wants rotten peppers. The ideal soil is also rich in organic matter. This gives the plants the nutrients they need to grow strong and produce plenty of fruit. Farmers spend a lot of time and effort making sure their soil is just right. It's like building a good foundation for a house. Without good soil, you're not going to get good peppers. It's as simple and as complicated as that. Every mighty chili pepper starts its journey as a tiny seed, a very, very tiny seed. You could hold hundreds of them in the palm of your hand, but inside each one is the potential for a plant that will produce dozens of fiery fruits. The process usually begins indoors, in greenhouses. This gives the delicate seedlings a controlled environment to get a head start. Farmers can manage the temperature, humidity, and light much more easily in a greenhouse than out in the open field. It's like a nursery for baby pepper plants, keeping them safe and sound until they're tough enough for the real world. Germination is the first big step. The seeds are typically planted in trays filled with a special sterile growing mix. They need warmth and moisture to wake up and start growing. Consistent temperature, often around 80 degrees Fahrenheit, is key for good germination. It can take a week or two for the first little sprouts to poke their heads through the soil. It's a waiting game, but when those green shoots appear, it's a sign that things are on track. These tiny plants are fragile. They need careful attention. Too much water, too little water, too cold, too hot. Any of these can spell disaster for the young seedlings. Once those young pepper plants are out in the field, the job is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started. Now begins the long season of field management. This means keeping the plants happy and healthy until harvest time. And let me tell you, a lot can go wrong out in the open. Farmers have to be vigilant. They have to be problem solvers. They are constantly monitoring their crops, looking for any signs of trouble. It's a full-time commitment, 7 days a week, especially during the growing season. These plants are their livelihood. Irrigation is a huge part of field management. As we said, peppers need consistent water, but not too much. Many modern farms use drip irrigation. This is a system of tubes with tiny holes that deliver water directly to the base of each plant. It's super efficient. It reduces water waste, which is a big deal, especially in dry areas, and it helps prevent fungal diseases that can spread when leaves get wet. Some systems can even deliver fertilizer along with the water. This is called fertigation. It's a smart way to feed the plants exactly what they need when they need it. Section 5, Big Red Goes Mechanical: How Machines Tackle the Harvest. Alright, so the peppers have grown big and beautiful, fiery red, or whatever color they're supposed to be. Now comes the moment of truth: harvest time. For many American chili pepper farms, especially the big ones growing peppers for processing, this means bringing in the machines. Mechanical harvesters are a game changer. These aren't your grandpa's tractors. These are specialized pieces of equipment designed to efficiently pick tons of peppers. Imagine trying to pick millions of peppers by hand. It's just not feasible for large-scale operations that need to get the crop in quickly. These mechanical harvesters work by shaking or stripping the peppers from the plants. They drive down the rows, and a series of rods or fingers vibrate through the plants, dislodging the ripe peppers. The peppers then fall onto conveyor belts, which carry them up into a hopper. It's a noisy, dusty, and pretty impressive operation to watch. These machines can harvest several acres in a day, doing the work of dozens of people. This is where that figure 2.1 pounds of red chili peppers comes into play. Modern machinery and farming techniques allow for such efficient harvesting that the yield per plant and per acre is maximized. This efficiency helps keep chili peppers affordable. Section 6. The human touch, when hands do the picking. Now, while those big machines are impressive, they're not the only way chili peppers get harvested in America. There's still a very important place for good old-fashioned manual labor, especially on smaller farms or for peppers that are sold fresh in the market. Think about those beautiful, blemish-free peppers you see in the produce aisle, or specialty varieties that need a more delicate touch. That's often where human hands come in. Hand picking is slower for sure, it's more labor-intensive, but it allows for a level of selectivity that machines just can't match yet. When peppers are picked by hand, workers can choose only the perfectly ripe ones. They can gently snap or clip the peppers from the plant, minimizing damage. This is crucial for fresh market sales, where appearance is everything. No one wants to buy a bruised or broken pepper. Workers move down the rows, often with buckets or baskets, carefully selecting and picking each pepper. It's tough work. It's often done in the hot sun. It involves a lot of bending and reaching. You gotta respect the folks who do this job. They are the reason you can get those picture-perfect peppers. Section 7. Post-pick pampering, cleaning, sorting, and drying out. Once the peppers are off the plant, whether by machine or by hand, the job isn't over, not by a long shot. Now comes the post-harvest handling. This is a critical stage to ensure the peppers stay fresh or are properly prepared for their next destination, like becoming powder or sauce. The first step is usually cleaning. Peppers coming from the field, especially those harvested mechanically, can be a bit dirty. They might have soil, leaves, twigs, and other debris mixed in with them. All of that needs to be removed. Nobody wants a gritty chili pepper. The cleaning process can involve several steps. Sometimes the peppers are given a quick rinse with water. Air blowers might be used to remove lighter debris like leaves. Then comes sorting. This is where workers, or sometimes optical sorting machines, separate the good peppers from the bad. They look for damaged, diseased, or unripe peppers. These are removed to ensure that only high-quality peppers move on to the next stage. It's a bit like being a bouncer at a very exclusive pepper club. Only the best get in. This sorting is crucial for maintaining the quality of the final product. Section 8. The daily grind, turning peppers into powder and perfection. Once those chili peppers are properly dried, they're ready for the next transformation. For many of them, this means being ground into powder. Chili powder is a staple in spice racks around the world. It's used in everything from chili con carne to rubs for barbecue. And making good chili powder is more than just smashing up some dried peppers. There's a process to it, and as always, quality control is a big part of the game. You want that powder to be just right, the right color, the right texture, and of course the right level of heat. The grinding process itself usually involves industrial milling equipment. The dried chilies, which are now brittle, are fed into these mills. The mills use hammers or rollers to break the peppers down into smaller and smaller pieces, eventually turning them into a fine powder. Different grinds can be produced, from coarse flakes to very fine powder, depending on the intended use. During the grinding process, heat can be generated. Too much heat can damage the flavor and color of the powder, so good milling operations often have ways to control the temperature during grinding. Section 9. Beyond the burned sriracha, global spice, and why peppers are good for you. Now let's talk about one of the most famous chili products out there. Sriracha sauce. That bright red bottle with the rooster on it, it's become a global phenomenon. And guess what? It starts with chili peppers. Lots and lots of red jalapeno peppers typically. The production of sriracha is a great example of how these humble peppers are transformed into a beloved condiment. The process involves grinding fresh chili peppers into a mash. Then, ingredients like vinegar, garlic, sugar, and salt are added. The mixture is then aged, which helps to develop its characteristic flavor. The story of sriracha, particularly the Hoi Fong Foods brand made in California, is a testament to the popularity of chili peppers. It went from a niche product to a household name, and it all relies on a consistent supply of high-quality red chili peppers. The demand for sriracha has even led to specific farming practices and contracts with growers to ensure they get the exact type of peppers they need. It shows how a single product can drive a significant portion of the chili pepper industry. It's a spicy success story built on the back of the humble chili.